Well, here we are downstairs in the train room to show you the next part of this. And what I want to show is on here where I plan to do all this stuff. Here's the testing arrangement that I had. And these guys have to come up somewhere along here because I want to put a speedometer in. I got to figure out where. I'm thinking right in the middle, but it'll depend on what's underneath the table as well. When we go and look underneath the table here, you can see the wiring mess that there is in there. So I'm not going to do it there. Maybe around that area, which puts it around there. That would work. And the other place I want to do this is I want to do a second one somewhere over here. And as the train traffic, seeing as the trains usually go in that direction, thinking of getting it right in probably around there. And we'll have them both on the outside. Then what I need to do is figure out what's my display mechanism, and I can use either like a 4x, you get a 4x20 or a 4x16, or you could get a 4-digit by 7 segment. Anyway, I'm trying out different ones to see which will look best, because I want to be able to kind of sit. This is a work area. I've got an ECOS ESU station there. I got a PC there, and I thought that seeing as in here is the power input to the track, kind of this is my work area, so I don't want to have to look way back there. I may just turn around and do something in this corner, or I could do it somewhere in here, because these are all my toggle switches to switch from DC to DCC if I choose that I want to do that. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But right now what I need to do is figure out these guys. I'll pull this one up here, and you can see depth-wise what it is. If I go and measure this, we'll put it right here, and that shows it's 2 inches deep. The depth on here is 1 inch foam. That's all I've got is just 1 inch foam, and when you look underneath, you'll see that I've got some 1x2s in here that hold it all together as a frame. In some cases I've put some 1/4 inch ply in to hold stuff, but in general it's just 1 inch of foam to go through, and of course the thickness of the track. Now, this piece of track is identical to that. It's 1 inch of foam and happens to be a turnout. This is a little bit thinner foam to go through, and this is just the cork, but I got ballast on that, which may be for something else because my layout doesn't have ballast. This most closely, I guess, simulates things. So I'm going to take a look at how I can drill to get this guy embedded in. You can see it doesn't want to fit, like you gotta cut. Alright, here we go, trying to figure out how best to do this. I look at this, and I mean, I can line it up. insert it. A little bit of pressure. A little bit more pressure. Look at that. Right to the level of the track. I think that's where we're going to want it. I can wiggle it in a little bit further. Good. Now, let's I've had to cobble this together, but here you kind of see it. And if I go over the sensor, lights go on. Sensor, when I go over it, lights go on. So that's picking up movement. If I get up to this level, it's not. So I get down to this level, it is, and of course track level. Now the issue is, however, this is with those lights on. If I turn on my LED three-way, that's okay. Ta-da! There's too much light coming in. So if I turn on that to that level or more, there's just it's reflecting back. It's picking it up as too much light. The only way is if I go, now I'm blocking it. It's okay. I'm not blocking it. Don't know what's going to happen. I think I have a couple of options. One is I can build kind of a tunnel over here, just a piece of black over it using something like this. So you can see how putting it there turns the light off, and then as it comes along. So I may have to do something like that. But other than that, I think we're getting really close to being able to install these guys. Step one, pick your spot, which for me is right there. So I've gone ahead here and I've cut the ties. When I go to put this in, it fits in nice. There's just enough room in there. Now the next step will be to drill down through the bottom. I'm going to manually put it where I want it. I'm going through foam, so that's a little bit different. So it kind of chews the foam a little bit where it's going. Now I'm into the foam underneath. Okay. That's all I care about for that. Let's do the same thing here as well. It's a lot of fun holding the camera in one hand and trying to drill with the other, so to speak. There, so that's the other one started. I'll grab my other drill, which is the one that's going to make the proper size hole. And I'm just going to hand drill it through because it's just going through foam. And if you look underneath, there it is. Does that show up okay? Yeah, there's it coming through there. So we'll turn it as we bring it back out again. And we'll go on the other side. Looks like it's a bit of an angle here. Anyway, if you look underneath there, you can see it's there as well. And then it's catching a little bit. There, we'll just bring that up a little bit more. Okay, now I got a bit of foam there. I'm going to get my vac. And we'll push through, clean it a bit. Same thing here. Got my hand underneath to catch the foam as it comes through. There, see? Told you I had my hand underneath. Put that aside. Grab the vacuum again. For some reason we've got a stubborn piece of foam here, so we'll get that. Just looking, I can see there's a bit of something in the way, so we'll push that through. Now, look at that. That's like a perfect fit. So, now, what I forgot to do is I forgot to remember that I really need two of these. And in my actual speedometer that I have, I'm just going to show you this. What we have, or what it appears we have, is an IR sensor there and there. So they are that far apart, which turns out to be 4.5 inches apart. So if I move down from here 4.5 inches, I'm right about there to give a similar one. Or if I move up 4.5 inches, I'm about there. So I want to put a sensor somewhere in that area to be similar, I suppose. Underneath here, yeah, I got room down here, okay. Underneath here, I got some room, except that is really close to feeders, which I can see there. So I don't want to put it there. Thinking if I put it down in this area, that'll likely work. What about between either these two or these two? So I either want it about there or about there. Either one works. I think we'll pick there as a good candidate. And now I'm going to do the same drilling here. You don't need to see that, so I'll turn this off and go ahead and drill it, and you'll see what it looks like. And now you can see they're both in place. So what we need to do next, there, is hollow out underneath these so that they'll go be able to go back up. And then to permanently affix them, it'll depend on where this hole is, but I think I'm going to just make a little piece of angle out of 1/16 plywood or something, and maybe I'll just hot glue them in and then hot glue the plywood underneath the same way that I've glued plywood in for other things, like down here where I've glued it in for a switch. Turn out. Anyway, we'll do some hollowing. Now here's the view above track. There's one sensor, there's another. And if we look underneath, you can see one there and one there. And that hole is just visible, but so I'm going to think about how I fit those in, but right now they're in pretty good. Now I need to go get this hooked up underneath, and here it is on top. And let's see what happens when a car goes across. Okay, the instant it goes across, it flips that light. Should keep it on. So I'm thinking we need to increase the sensitivity a bit. This one, similar kinds of thing. See, if I just hold that over, it's okay to about there. That's okay to about there. Yeah, that's okay. This should have been one of my tests and wasn't. I've got a locomotive here. As you can see, it's all black underneath. So where the sensors are, there's nothing shiny. And if I go across, see, it doesn't pick it up at all. In fact, it doesn't, well, it picks up my hand once my hand gets close enough. but there's no reflection. And the same on the front here. Locomotive goes across and there's no pickup whatsoever. Now that's, yeah, not sure why we got a little pickup there. Oh, that was from here. Anyway, I need to get that sorted.